Welcome, Danimals, to a brand new series. In this series, we're going to be playing through Terraria on Master Mode. And not only that, we're going to be trying to collect all of the achievements. I've never played through Master Mode before, so I'm expecting it to be pretty difficult. And while I do have all the achievements in the game already, I've reset them so that they pop up in-game for us to collect together. Just like this, our first achievement, Timber, for chopping down our very first tree. After chopping down a few trees, I noticed that there was a Pinky coming at me from the right side, and I know that defeating Pinky is an achievement in Terraria, so I decided maybe with the guide's help, I can take it out. Unfortunately for me, the guide got distracted by a group of blue slimes coming from the right, and did not target Pinky near as much as I would have hoped, and me and my copper short sword were not nearly doing enough damage to take out Pinky and this horde of slimes. They grouped up on me, and in the end, they ended up giving me my first death of the series, which to be fair is probably expected for trying to take on a Pinky with only a copper short sword, even if it is a superior copper short sword. After that first death, I went ahead and started building up a house. I wanted to do this to start getting some NPCs to move in because NPCs, as you may know, are extremely helpful in this game. While building the house, I crafted a workbench, and that is my second achievement, Benched. Pretty soon after that, I crafted a hammer for my next achievement, crafting a hammer, because the dirt walls on the outside of the house were bugging me and I needed to remove them. And while removing them, the guy moved into his brand new house and I got my next achievement, No Hobo. I probably won't show all of my deaths in this series, but just know that there are a lot of them, especially at the beginning, but maybe I'll keep a running count somewhere and have a total at the end. With the wood I collected earlier, I decided I needed a little bit of armor, so I crafted the wooden armor set for my next achievement, Matching Attire. After that, I decided to start digging a tunnel down to the underworld, not only to have easier access for later in the game, but to find some ores along the way, and hopefully upgrade my armor and weapons. While I was doing that, a star fell, and I want to play as a mage, since I have not really ever done that. I don't tend to like the mage class that much, but I decided I would challenge myself to do it this time. Unfortunately, that means going through a couple of zombies, and as you can see, I do not deal that much damage, and they take quite a while to defeat, but I do manage to defeat them, craft a mana star, and get my next achievement. After doing a whole bunch of mining down my tunnel, I decided to come back up to see if there were any more stars, which there were 4 or 5 of them. Unfortunately, I got my next achievement, surviving my first full night, which means the stars disappear, and I only got to collect 2 of the 5 that were out there. After that slightly disappointing turn of events, I decided to do a little more exploring of the surface, where I encountered a rainbow slime, which I was definitely not scared of, and I found my first chest on the surface, which contained climate claws. Not the greatest, but not the worst. A little extra mobility never hurt. I decided to do a little bit of exploring in a cave system, and I see that there is a dart trap down there, which I will definitely not hit. I see it, and there's no way that I will hit that dart trap. I might hit that one though. I only stepped on that pressure plate for the achievement. I totally saw it there. While fighting this yellow slime, or maybe I should say cheesing this yellow slime, because he can't quite hit me while I'm under the water, I almost step on this dart trap that I did see earlier, and that would have been truly disappointing. As you can see, it takes me quite a while to defeat any enemies in this game. I don't really know why I haven't created a better sword yet, but I'm still using my copper short sword from the beginning of the game, occasionally dealing 1 to 2 damage, sometimes 5 or 6, depending on if I get a crit. And when enemies have 100 plus health, that leads to some pretty long fights where I tend to get hurt. I then hopped on a minecart for a really long ride because I saw a living wood tree. In the first chest that I found in them, I only got the wands. However, in the second chest, I got a radar, which is the first item in a long list of items that I will need for the cell phone, which is an achievement in Terraria. I end up in the ice biome where I get pretty trapped by a bunch of ice slimes, but I do manage to take a few out and escape safely with my life. I then take on these spiked ice slimes, which are a little tougher, and fortunately I'm able to take them out, but not without taking some serious damage and needing to use one of my healing potions. The snowflakes was too much for me. I didn't realize he would sink when he jumped in the water, so he took me out. After that death, I decided to smelt my ores into some bars, and with the lead bars I create a lead anvil. For my next achievement, heavy metal. I then craft 2 silver pickaxes because the first pickaxe had the slow enchantment, which is the absolute worst enchantment you can have for a pickaxe. The second pickaxe was just a normal silver pickaxe, but that's better than slow, so I replaced my slow one. I then craft some copper armor to increase my armor from 3 to 6. After that, I then have to craft 2 lead broadswords because the first one was broken, which again is a horrible enchantment. Using my new armor and weapons, I head back down to take on the snowflakes and his brother and loot the chests. The first chest had an ice boomerang, which is a great melee weapon if I remembered to use it, which I don't for a long time. However, the second snowflakes turned out to be a little too much for me, brought me down to just 3 health before I decided to wall it underwater and loot this chest, which had an annoying snowball cannon. I then use a Spelunker potion to try and speed up my mining of ores, find some gems to create a hook, and find some life crystals. I need the life crystals to increase my maximum life, which will help me survive some of these encounters I'm facing. Breaking your first life crystal also gives you an achievement, Heartbreaker. Luckily enough, I see 2 right where I decided to take this Spelunker potion. However, they ended up being underwater, which is pretty dangerous in the ice biome especially, as being in the water gives you the chilled debuff, which slows you down. Having no hook or way to move around, and with the water being as deep as it is, I end up drowning trying to get the second heart crystal. I then decided to head back and try and grab the heart crystal that I left behind, but a piranha came out of nowhere and ended that idea rather quickly. I ended up giving up trying to get that life crystal for now, and did a little more exploring to the right of my spawn, where I found a cave that led straight to the bottom of the corruption without having to go down one of the large tunnels. I decided to bust open some shadow orbs to try and get a few stronger weapons. After smashing the first one, I got not only a musket, but an achievement called Smashing Poppet for breaking my first shadow orb. While trying to figure out how to destroy one of these shadow orbs and not both of them with a single bomb, I ended up dying to a devourer. While hunting for more fallen stars, I caught myself in a little bit of a pickle and ended up making a daring escape with the magic mirror. While I was in the middle of continuing my tunnel all the way to the underworld, slime started falling from the sky. So I decided to head back up to the surface to get my hands on a whole bunch of gel and possibly even take out my first boss of the series, King Slime. You can see how dangerous these slimes are for me. It took so long to take out one slime that I got ganged up on by 4 or 5 more, and when they're all grouped together like that, it's very hard for me to take them out with my current loadout. The snowball cannon seems to make things easier, but since it doesn't have any piercing ability, it's still possible for the slimes to group up in large groups, making it very hard to take them out. Throughout the fight, I'm storing my money in a chest, so that when I die, I don't lose all of it every time. Here you can see what I'm talking about with the snowball cannon. While I was able to take out the group of slimes, it took me so long that more slimes were able to fall from the sky and basically make the group just as large as it was before I started. I also end up getting cut off by a green and blue slime as I'm trying to head back into my house, which leads me to the next death of the series. I did manage to get a blue slime banner, which will help me out with the blue slimes at least, in that they'll do a lot less damage to me, and I'll do much more damage to them. I spot another pinky, and this time I'm going to take it out. With my upgraded weapons and not just a copper short sword, it shouldn't be as much of an issue this time. Although it is kind of hard to hit Pinky with the snowball cannon, since it can be slightly inaccurate and Pinky's so small. The purple slime at the end did try and foil my plans by falling right on top of me, but I do manage to eke out a win against Pinky, getting the achievement Pretty in Pink. I stashed the gold that I got from Pinky and decided to grab an iron skin potion to buff up my defense just a little bit for the king slime fight that should be coming any minute. Or now apparently. I don't even get to take the iron skin potion before a purple slime ruins my day and I don't even get a chance to try and take out king slime. As fast as king slime spawned, he despawned, leaving me with just the rest of the slime rain event and a little bit of shame. I end up getting another blue slime banner as well as a green slime banner, so now both blue and green slimes should not pose much of a threat to me. I finish out most of the rest of the event with shurikens and throwing knives, as they do have a little bit of piercing abilities, making it just a bit faster to take out the slimes. I also tried jumping on a purple slime for some reason, taking yet another death to purple slimes. I decided to fight these demon eyes thinking it wouldn't be too much of a struggle. Little did I know that it would end the recording session and this first video. If you liked this video, be sure to subscribe and leave a like. Also, if you have any suggestions for what you'd like to see happen in this series, leave it down in the comments below. Thanks again everybody for watching, and make sure to come back next Monday for the next episode of this series.